Times-Republic newsroom, I'm sports reporter Ryan Buchan with this week's edition of IC Sports Roundup. We're heading into week 2 of football action, and we'll be discussing all 4 Iroquois County teams tonight. Starting off, we'll go with Central, who is heading down to Salem. It's a 183-mile trip down Highway 57. Salem lost 40-14 last week in Centralia, while the Comets are coming off a 42-19 victory against Prairie Central. Let's listen in to what Coach Brian Spooner had to say at practice.
Well, we had a pretty good game last week against Prairie Central, so we're looking forward to what we got on the next game. And Salem's big and they're pretty physical, and maybe a little bit of the opposite of what Prairie Central wasn't all that big, although they were pretty physical. They certainly present some challenges. So looking forward to not the bus trip, but we're obviously looking forward to going down there and playing.
The Comets scored in all 3 phases of the game in week 1, and we'll see if they can do it again when they face Salem. Next, we'll discuss Iroquois West, who's on the road again, facing off with Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge started the season with a loss, 55-6 to Flanagan, while Iroquois West beat Eureka 20-8. Coach Harris discusses this week's matchup and what week 2 means for area football teams.
It's just like anything else. Week 2 is the week that most teams show their biggest improvement. We need to be the team that takes the biggest leap. You've got all the cobwebs out, you've got a chance to hit another team, you get an understanding of what true game speed is, because I don't think anybody can, on a small school size, you have your mismatch, you know it. Well, now our kids have seen varsity kids on varsity kids, so the game speed will help with focus as we prepare to practice this week.
The Raiders had a nice surprise in the first game, with Henry Garrettson scoring 2 touchdowns on the ground. Last season, Garrettson played defensive tackle and did not carry the ball at all. We'll see how he does when his team goes to Blue Ridge this weekend. Next up on our list is Milford, who had an impressive victory in week 1, beating Tri-County 41-7. Milford will be at home again when they face East Central. East Central is on a 12-game losing streak and has not won since 2010. Here's what Aiden Albaugh has to say coming into his second home game of the season.
Right now we're just focusing on trying to get better. We had a good opportunity to see some good film when our guys going against somebody else's varsity team. So we picked up on a lot of little mistakes we were making and bad habits. So it's been just a week of furious work is, I think, the best way to describe it. Obviously preparing for what East Central does, but overall just getting better at the pieces of what we do that we weren't executing quite right. And that goes both on offense and on defense. So it's been a good week of work, and today, again, we expect the same. We need to get another solid day of work in.
The Bearcats had a lot of young players in the lineup in their first game, and they all did pretty well. We'll see how they do in their second game. Next, we'll discuss Watseka at Paris. The Warriors drove through Paris last weekend on their way to Robinson, where they beat the Maroons 25-6. The Warriors are the only team in the county who is playing a team that won last weekend, as Paris beat Cumberland 19-13. Coach Lucas discusses going on the road and his team's matchup with Paris this weekend. Let's listen in.
You got to win on the road to go anywhere in this state, and if we want to make any noise in the playoffs, you're going to be on the road somewhere. You got to know how to play. And this is a 3A, maybe a 4A school. I don't know what their enrollment is. I know it's bigger than us, but we took it to them pretty well. I think we were more physical than they were tonight.
Okay, cool. You heard from Coach Lucas. Now check us out for a full recap of Friday's game, which will be in Tuesday's edition, or you can even check it out online. Well, that's it for this week's edition of IC Sports Roundup.